Welcome to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. In this podcast, we discuss the how-to of creating conscious leadership for business, life, and the world. With ordinary people doing extraordinary things and being truly in control of their own health, wealth, and happiness. Knowledge plus action with a plan creates magical results. Introducing your host, Julie Hogbin, author, international speaker, mentor, disruptor and creator of conscious leadership and property investor living in the UK. This is an interview that was conducted by Luca Bernardini on me, and Luca is one of the hosts, along with his wife Katerina, of the London Entrepreneur Social Meet, which is held once a month in London on the first Wednesday of the month. We are currently in lockdown, so that is now online, and I have a distinct feeling that when things get back to opening up, that it will go back to a physical meet. This is about a 20-minute interview where Luca asked me to basically give him my life story from coming out the education system to now. So it's very truncated, as you can imagine, and linked into how I got involved with the Entrepreneurs Institute, of which I'm a master trainer. So if you're interested to find out what I've done throughout my life in very brief detail, there are a few jobs, there are a few roles. I have changed industries and career. I've spent from 18 months to about 12 years working with one company. And the 12 years is the longest. I did have 4 positions within that 12 years. So to say that I have changed what I've done over a period is an understatement in some respects. I think I've had what they now call a portfolio career. But if you're interested, have a listen along. And if you've got any questions about any of this, again, as always, please ask me.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 3rd episode of Have You Been Rogered?
No.
Today, this is Luca Bernardini, I'm your host, and today we have with us Julie Hogbin. Thank you very much, Julie, for being with us.
You're welcome.
I've been very honoured actually to meet Julie and a while ago, but also to spend some time with her, getting to know her really well during the recent Journey of Light. We have an epic journey through India, Nepal and Tibet that will take a whole new episode just to tell you just a little bit of what we did on that journey. But if you're interested, go and have a look at the previous posts, because we did a presentation on it at the event last month.
Oh yeah, we did. Yes.
So you can go and have a look at all the photos and listen to all the tales. Today, I mean, these episodes are really to get to know the people that come and come to our socials regularly every month. So what we tend to do is try to find out a little bit about their background, where they come from, how they got to where they are now. So let's start with Julie, and just tell us a little bit of yourself and how you started in work, in your life, where you come from first, where you were born, and where you grew up, and how you slowly come to do what you do now. Okay,
this is 6 decades in a potted history. Interestingly, education, I'll start there because it was an experience. I went to a grammar school and I got misled, sort of went AWOL for the last couple of years in the education system. So sort of went from a very bright, intelligent individual who was put forward for her GCSEs a year early to leaving the education system with not a single qualification to my name. I remember going in and writing one in my history GCSE O-level, put my name and the date on the top of the paper and then got up and left. So don't follow my example for that. But I'm saying that I went out left school on the Tuesday, first day I legally could, walked down the local high street on the Wednesday, started work on the Thursday, and I've not stopped working since. So first career was accountancy. So I could calculate numbers at the time quicker than a calculator could, and I would be accurate 99.9% recurring of the time. and became a party piece for me within, you know, when you're out drinking, calculate this, and I would do it quicker than a calculator. Can't do it now, I've lost the skill.
Can you just remind us of what your profile is?
I'm a creator, yeah. Probably why I don't finish much that I start, but hey-ho. But I've learnt about that, so I've counteracted that. And then I went from that into retail audit. I got fed up with the 9 to 5 working. Went into retail audit, got a company car, went round retail outlets, auditing them. And from that, because rather than just go in and tell people what they'd done wrong and leave it at that, which was what we were told to do, I used to help them put it right. Then I'd write the report. And when I wrote the report, I could say, well, this was wrong, but by the time I left, it was right. And from that, through a chance remark to one of my colleagues about somebody's lack of performance in the learning and development department, I was interviewed for a job as a graduate trainee recruiter and trainer within retail. Quite
funny with your lack of qualifications.
Yeah, exactly. It was just, so I'm now recruiting graduates.
So you are qualified in life?
Yeah, qualified in life, experience and everything that goes with that. And just how you can change, and it really is a massive change of where I was to where I am now. I used to hide behind my mum's skirts. I wouldn't talk to anybody. I wouldn't initiate a conversation. You would not have got me on camera or on a mic. You wouldn't. And now I stand in front of, you know, thousands of people talking from stage. So how you can change from where you start to where you want to end up is stunning. So please believe that, everybody that might be listening to this. So I went into the Learning and Development Department, absolutely loved it, worked with graduate trainees. I got 100% success rate on qualifications where previously it had been 5%. I mean, it was stunning. Loved absolutely every minute of it. Worked across the UK within the retailer. And then took the opportunity of a redundancy package. So rather than being made redundant, I aimed for it, I went for it. Got a nice healthy payout at the end of it. Also got an outplacement service, which saw me ended up working with Wrights Coots. At the time it was Coots, then they got taken over to Wrights Coots. Don't even know if they still exist. So I ended up, and again, what happened, I qualified to work with them to help them do their outplacement services for other people going through redundancies, learn all about self-marketing.
Can I just interrupt you for a second? I say, isn't it funny, because we always hear in the news about redundancies, recessions, like that, but a lot of businesses are created right in those moments.
Yes, okay,
so it
yes,
is important.
absolutely.
How many chances there are when everybody thinks that there's nothing there for to go?
I have to say, it's one of the best things that has ever happened to me, because without that, I would not be where I am now, because I wouldn't have gone self-employed. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do the outplacement self-marketing programs I did, which I got really scared about. I only did one, and then I thought I couldn't do any more. I wouldn't then have had the opportunity to work with PricewaterhouseCoopers on a massive contract with the Department of Work and Pensions, which taught me all about coaching and mentoring and change management, with some of the best consultants through PwC. I wouldn't have had that opportunity. And then if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have ended up as a partner in a learning and development firm, working exclusively with the charitable sectors, the non-profit sector. And I did that up until 2011. Loved every minute. We operated transparently. We operated on a participative management, so we all managed each other. There was no boss. There was no hierarchy, which is, if you can make it happen, it's fabulous, and you've got to then make it happen. Learnt about transparency and all those sorts of things. Really questioned my own values, my own ethics, my own morals, my own belief systems. And then 2011, I thought, haven't got a pension. Spent all my money. I've travelled the world. I've had a wonderful time. Now what have I got to do? And went out and learned about property investing and forex trading and internet marketing and affiliate marketing and various other things, and ended up, because it's people, primarily it's people, of course bricks and mortar, working with property through property. So I own them and do long leases.
I know you run HMOs.
Yes.
now? Both,
yeah, I do. Yeah. All my properties are HMOs. I think they're safer. That's my, my view. I love it, and I don't have any. As you can probably imagine, I don't have any issue dealing with people. So I have the conversations that are required, So as part of that whole thing, as much as I've run away from learning and development and leadership and management, which was my specialism with chief execs, boards of trustees, that type of level is where I'd ended up working through. I ran away from it in 2011 thinking, I cannot bang my head up against a brick wall anymore.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah,
I mean, you've been both in a commercial sector and in a charity sector.
Yes.
How was the attitude in the charity sector different from the one that you met before?
Massive. So when I first went into working into the charitable sector, coming from a corporate, private type background, I would use words like business. And there was a complaint made about me. And this is, true. There was a complaint made about me that one of the organisations I'd worked for had phoned into the office to one of my other partners and said, can you please ask Julie to stop using the word business because we aren't. So when I first walked into it, it was huge, as in completely different. It wasn't, not all, but some of them didn't perceive themselves as businesses. They had no idea about profit or loss or anything about, and I know within the charitable commission there's only a certain percentage you can spend on admin, but it wasn't, some of them I worked with, not all of them, some of them I worked with weren't run as a business, efficiently. And slowly over the years that I did work with them, it changed. And there was a lot and towards the end of the last few years I was working with them, there were a lot of people coming in as chief execs into the charitable sector that were coming out of finance, banking, private industry, and they were coming in as chief execs, and it was creating a massive change in a lot of the charities, which was required, because they had to be accountable for how they spent their money. And I know some fabulous chief execs who've always been fabulous, who've always done that. And I know some that weren't because it wasn't their focus, it wasn't their primary. Doing the service, providing the service to the end user was their primary focus. But of course, if you do that efficiently, you can do that twice as much. So yeah, it changed a lot while I was working within it.
Fantastic. And when did you get in? When did you meet the world of Roger Hamilton and Entrepreneur Institute?
Wow, when did I meet Entrepreneurs Institute? So back in 2011-12, I was told to do the Wealth Dynamics profiling test. I was told to do it. I did it. I didn't know why I'd been told to do it. I didn't get a debrief. Nobody explained to me what it was. So I did it and then thought, so what? And I have to say, I did think, so what? So that was about 2011-12. And then I bumbled back into, and I didn't know that was Roger at the time, I bumbled back into the Entrepreneurs Institute probably around maybe 2015, 16, something like that. And I was bumbling around the edges. And then maybe 2017, I signed up as a flow consultant. And then 2018, I signed up as a performance consultant. And then 2018, I went out to Bali and qualified as one of the master trainers for the Entrepreneurs Institute.
How did that change the way that you see your coaching and using these tools?
It provides another perspective to how we do what we do and why we do what we do. And if we truly want to be successful, and we can be successful in flow, creating trust because we're doing what we love to do and working with people who complement ourselves and they work in flow, creating trust, you can get a far better result quicker when you understand what that truly means, rather than trying to be a jack of all trades and master of none, because you're going from one thing to the other. And if you're on the right hand side of the square and you're trying to do accounts and systems and processes, it's going to be hard work. So work with somebody or employ somebody part-time, outsource, that can do that bit, and they love it. It costs you less long term.
Did you actually? I mean, when I did it myself, what it what did when I got the report? It actually taught me a lot about myself and maybe understand myself. And I thought, actually, I'm not crazy.
Really?
Maybe not. That's what I thought. Let's put it that way. Okay. But it made me understand the way they I like doing things, and then it was liberating in a way, because I understood, okay, I always had a problem with delegating, but I understood, okay, there are people that love doing the things I don't like, because I always had a problem thinking, if I don't like something, I don't like giving somebody else things to do that I don't like, because I think I'm being selfish. But when the understanding arrived, and I think, oh, people actually love doing these things that I can't stand. It was very, very liberating. It allowed me to do quite a few big steps. It's in business. So did you have the same similar experience?
Well, see, I've always known that.
Yeah, you always known that
because I've been in leadership and management development for over 30 years. So bumping into the wealth dynamics, I sort of went, it's a profiling tool. I know that. I don't know it in that guise, which is fabulous. Everybody that's listening to this, I mean, it is stunning. It's a completely different perspective on certain things about wealth creation, let alone working in teams and how you grow your business. So it's got a very different focus on it to the ones I'd used in corporate. Because that's not about wealth creation. That's more about team dynamics and working together. And you don't recruit somebody into a corporate for how they're going to create wealth, But you can use the wealth dynamics, team dynamics for that if you chose to. So I've always known it. One of the things I always used to say to leaders was when I would hear them, or managers, I would hear them say to people, this is a really boring job and I'm going to ask you to do it. And I'm like, boring to you? It might not be to them. Stop it. Stop using those words. So it's good. It's good. And there's various profiling tools out there, but it is a very good one, and it's a very well-researched one. There's foundations within 5,000 years of history, and there's not many you can say that about.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we're coming to pretty much the end of the interview. As we tonight, we're now joining the London Social. That is going on here at the Bar Langley, where we are tonight. So for those of you that are looking at this, we here the first Wednesday of every month. So if you want to come and join us in London, remember, it's easy to remember, first Wednesday of every month at 7:00. Just before we go, just two words. Julie, for those of you that now have seen what she's like and would like to hear a little bit more from her, Julie is going to be next month's speaker.
I am.
So if you just want to have if you can sum up in 1 minute the kind of value and the content that you're going to give our attendees next month.
Okay.
It will be kind of like a nugget. Yeah,
okay. So value, huge. That's what I'll say about the value. Content will be around how we block ourselves or don't block ourselves, and how if we can recognise what it is that blocks us doing the things that we want to do and work with it. You can't get rid of your past, but you can identify and work with the things that are in your past that enable you to do and disenable you to do. I'm going to be doing a talk on that based around conscious leadership. And somebody said to me today, well, what's the difference between conscious leadership and leadership? I said, with conscious leadership, you know why you're doing what you're doing. You know why you're making your decisions rather than it being completely unconscious. So you create and form the base and the foundation that allows you to launch yourself into whatever it is you want to do. So you know what you're good at and why you do certain things and why you make certain decisions. So it allows you to get over the resistors. So now I'm not going to probably be able to cover all of that in 20, 30 minutes, but it will give a real good, solid foundation of what we all need to do, me included, Luca included, all of us need to do. Doesn't matter what level of business you're at or what level of success you're at, there'll always be something. And if you're at the beginning, come along and listen seriously, because it will really short-circuit your progress. It will really short-circuit it, because it will give you a really good foundation to kickstart from, which is what I'm all about. I want to help other people and support other people to do stuff, whatever it be. And that's career promotion, being an entrepreneur, running your own business, getting a new job, having a great relationship with your partner. It all comes from the same place. So it's sort of all encompassing.
It's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to listening to it next month.
Not given myself much to live up to, have I?
Not at all. Easy peasy. So, for those of you that want to know more about Julie and to listen more to what she has to tell us next month, please you can book your tickets using the link at the bottom of this video, and come and join us for our socials. For those of you that haven't been before, it's a networking event. So we meet with like-minded people. That one of the big attractions is get people from all walks of life. This is not a industry specific event, but you got people that from all sorts of businesses, or even people that are thinking of starting a business, so they can get a lot of valuable information in one place. Definitely. And we always have an interesting speaker that informs us of something that is very relevant to all of us, and there is a chance at the end to have like a question and answer session and a little bit more networking at the end, and we'll consuming some food and drink as well, which obviously goes very well with the networking. So we hope to see you all there next month. Thank you very much, Julie.
You're more than welcome, and I hope to see
interview.
all of the viewers next month as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. Thanks for listening to the Conscious Leadership Podcast. You can contact Julie on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and hear me out. Please subscribe to her YouTube channel for how-to videos and more content. And please message Julie to have your questions answered. Until next time, remember, knowledge plus action with a plan creates magical results. See it, say it, write it, believe it, and achieve it.